It is a great pleasure for the Minnesota State University Mankato Foundation to honor John Behrends as the 2018 Volunteer of the Year. John played football for the Mavericks in the late 1950s. It's been decades since he suited up for his alma mater, but he's still involved with the program. He drives the team bus, runs chapel services for the team, and is the current president of the Touchdown Club. And he rarely misses a game.
My continued sitting up by the press box, helping the officials during games I've drawn closer and closer with every year that I've grown older.
John has experienced Blakesley Stadium himself, and I think he exuberates that passion in the stands, and I still think that he wants to come down and play and be that junkyard dog that he used to be when he played football.
Now, however, his focus is on the young men playing for the Mavericks. He's enjoyed getting to know them over the more than 15 years he's been leading weekly chapel meetings and to seeing how those sessions impact their play.
There's something special going on between the kids, even those who may not come to chapel, where they're feeling, and this sounds a little fluffy for a violent game like football. But there is a love that's going on among these players where they're really truly caring for themselves. It goes beyond the current situation.
Coach Hoffner appreciates everything John does for him and his team.
He's willing to do anything and everything he can within the NCAA rules, of course, but his passion is there. His pride for Minnesota State and Maverick football is over the top. I mean, he's all about athletics in general. He loves all the sports, but I think there's just a small part in his heart that says he loves football maybe just a little bit more.
John is grateful to be able to work with student athletes who love the game as much as he does.
I like working with young men who have a passion to play a game as well as it can be played at the level they play, and to be a small part of that. My age, I'm 6 decades ahead of these players. All of us grow older and more mature together. I tell them I love them. I said, there's nothing you can do about that.
Giving of his time and talents is one way John can thank the university for helping him reach his goals.
When I walked away, I had a degree and I had something in my hand that I could show somebody and say, I'm worth hiring. But I have a responsibility to give back to the institution, and not give back a year or 2 or 3. I need to give back the rest of my life. And in one way or another, if you come over here as a volunteer, they're going to find something for you to do.
He's got a heart of gold. He makes all kinds of sacrifices in his life, and he will give away his life savings to MSU. There's a lot of people that probably have more capacity than John Behrends, but John Behrends will give you everything he's got from a personal standpoint and a financial standpoint.
That includes a hug.
At the end of chapel, they make me go stand by the door. And these kids, some of whom are big enough to have their own zip code, want a hug. And none of them leave without having a hug. And Todd's kind of picked up on that. And now I can't come into his office or leave his office without a hug.
That may help explain why John can't be here tonight. The football team plays in Moorhead tomorrow, and John will be there with them.
I have told the kids I would be at their ball games. It's my responsibility several years ago and certainly this year to conduct a chapel that is meaningful to the theme, the King and the Kid. We're 300 miles away, and it's not real easy to get somebody to do that job. And so I could get somebody to drive the bus. That would not be a problem. I feel a greater responsibility to serve these kids out here and the coaching staff and the Department of Athletics at MSU